Hello, everyone. I know that everyone is anxious to get back to church, and we have that possibility beginning this weekend, beginning actually on Saturday, June 6th. And the reason I'm standing here now is to kind of give you an introduction of, or explanation of what's going to happen when you come to Mass during this phase 2 of the reopening of the church. It's going to be a little bit different. When you come in, the procedures will be way different. When you get inside the church, it'll be different. But it's just something that we have to do as the recommendations and the mandates of the Phase 2 reopening that was given to us by the state of Nevada. With the state of Nevada's mandates, we know that we are only allowed 50 people in the church, and therefore we have to do have some restrictions in order to allow people coming into the church. I know that 50 people is very limited, and that we've been required to make reservations to come to each of the masses, and even the mass schedule has been changed to reflect the fact that this is not something normal, that this is just a temporary thing, and so the masses have been changed in their times. But in remembering this, Bishop Thomas, the Bishop of Las Vegas, has also extended the dispensation from the obligation of attending Mass. So if you feel that you are still uncomfortable in coming to Mass, or you couldn't get a reservation, or you're not feeling motion, you don't have to come to Mass during this time, and it will not be a sin, like people might think. You just don't have the obligation during this time to come to Mass. The Bishop has said that. For those of you who have gotten a reservation for Mass this weekend, or any of the weekends, that we will be using just one entrance to the church. You see there is the main entrance, the double door entrance. We're going to be using this one to the right, and this is the way we'll enter into church. But before you do that, there will be a check-in station out here where your reservation will be confirmed, your temperature will be taken to see that you're okay to go into the church. And once that happens, then we invite you to come into the church. So welcome inside of Our Lady of Las Vegas Church here in the lobby area, the vestibule. And one of the first things you'll probably notice is that the font is empty, as are the fonts by the doors. The diocese has asked that we not have any holy water in the church at this time, obviously to avoid any transformation of anything that could occur through transfer of water. The donation box will be here. There will not be a collection taken out during Mass, and so you bring your donations, and we hope you will, that you can place your donations here in the collection box. Many of you probably recognize this as our CSA box, but it's now kind of an all-purpose box now, and will be the reception of any and all donations to the church. Now here we are inside of Our Lady of Las Vegas Church, and the first thing you'll probably notice when you come in is that we've made keeping social distancing a little bit easier for you, because we have divided the pews up. You'll notice that there's tape between the pews, and every third pew will be open so that we keep distance from everyone. Once you come into the church, you'll be escorted in, and if you are individuals, you'll be placed in a pew, and there'll be markers there you'll see as to where you should sit, and keeping distance from one another in that particular pew. If you come with a family and you're from the same household, you'll be able to enter a pew, and you'll be able to sit together. There's no restriction on how close you sit if you're a family from the same household. As we celebrate Mass, you'll notice there's going to be some differences as well. That, for one thing, there will be no offertory gifts that will be brought up during the Mass like we normally do, along with the collection. That won't happen. Also, that there will be no sign of peace, so that won't even be announced. That the whole part will be just eliminated during this time. For Holy Communion, you will come up for Holy Communion. And while you're in line, you'll be practicing social distancing. There'll be some markings on the floor to see how far you should be standing from the person in front of you. Then when you come up, priests will be wearing masks at this time, and as well as all of the people that are in church. You'll come up wearing your mask, but you will receive Holy Communion, and once you receive, and you will receive it in the hand, you're asked to receive it in the hand, and we're only going to receive Holy Communion under the sign of bread. The cup has been eliminated for this time, and you will receive Holy Communion on the hand. And once you take the host, you remove your mask, place it in your mouth, and cover your face back up, and then you can walk away. The priests at this time will also be wearing masks for your protection as well. At the conclusion of Mass, we are going to exit the people by rows or by the pews, beginning with the back of the church. You'll exit and leave the church by the doors, which will be open at that time, so you don't have to touch the handles or anything. So you'll just leave. And then we ask that you don't congregate out in the front of your church. I know a lot of people want to talk and visit with one another, but the diocese has asked that after Mass that you immediately leave the church and go right to your cars and be on your way home. One of the other things is that unfortunately, you know how the priests like to greet everyone as you're leaving Mass. Unfortunately, that will not be able to happen during this phase, so unfortunately we won't be doing that. But we're very happy that you are coming to Mass. At least some of you will be here this weekend, and more of you in the subsequent weekends that follow. And we're very glad that this is at least taking place. This reopening is taking place now, and hopefully in the not too distant future, we'll be able to invite everybody back to church and things to get back to normal. So thank you everybody for your kind attention.